Welcome back to Channel Royal Wrestling. Tonight, we bring you a story that shook the wrestling world, a story of courage, pride, and legacy. It's the tale of a young warrior who stepped across boundaries, faced legends, and proved that destiny favors the brave. This is the story of Kelani Jordan, the NXT sensation who walked into TNA bound for Glory 2025 and walked out still the Knockouts World Champion. Kelani Jordan's journey is more than a match result, it's a message. It's proof that heart beats hierarchy, that belief breaks barriers, and that true greatness can't be contained within one promotion. For those who've followed her story, you know where it began: bright lights, small stage, huge dreams. A gymnast turned wrestler, a performer turned fighter, a dreamer turned champion, but nobody expected what happened this year. When the wrestling universe heard that NXT and TNA were opening the doors for cross-brand competition, fans were stunned. No one knew who would represent the new era of women's wrestling, until Kelani Jordan rose to the challenge. She didn't just show up, she showed out. And at Bound for Glory 2025, the entire arena learned why the world now calls her the face of the future. The night began with anticipation, the biggest crowd TNA had hosted in years. The arena glowed with lights and chants. Posters of legends hung everywhere, but tonight, the spotlight was reserved for one name: Kelani Jordan. Backstage, the camera caught her warming up, eyes sharp, hands taped, energy calm but deadly. Across the hall stood Jordynne Grace, a veteran, a powerhouse, the embodiment of dominance. Grace wasn't just another challenger. She was the mountain Kelani had to climb, strong, experienced, and determined to reclaim the Knockouts title she once held with pride. As Jordynne made her entrance, the crowd roared like thunder. Then, the lights dimmed. A soft golden hue spread across the stage. The music hit, and Kelani Jordan appeared. Her gear shimmered in gold and violet. The title glistened around her waist. The fans erupted. Some cheered for TNA, others for NXT, but everyone knew they were about to witness history. The referee raised the belt. The bell rang. The war began. Right from the start, Jordynne used her strength: heavy slams, forearms, powerbombs that shook the ring. Kelani tried to counter with speed and agility, flipping out of holds, rolling through pins, leaping over ropes. It was a battle of power versus precision, heart versus experience. Midway through the match, Grace hit a spine buster that nearly ended it. The crowd gasped. Kelani's body twisted in pain, but her eyes stayed locked on the ropes. She crawled, inch by inch, grabbed the bottom rope, and the referee broke the count. The audience began chanting her name: Kelani. Kelani. That chant was her heartbeat. And from that moment, the story turned. Kelani ducked a clothesline, hit the ropes, flipped into a springboard moonsault, and landed perfectly. 1, 2, Grace kicked out. The crowd was on fire. Grace came back with a Grace driver, but Kelani countered midair, an unbelievable reversal that drew pure disbelief from commentators. The match became an art form, every move, every breath, every second building toward destiny. As the clock ticked down, both women stood face to face in the center of the ring. Exhausted, beaten, but unbroken, Grace shouted, "You don't belong here." Kelani's reply was silent, a look that said, "Watch me." Then came the ending no one will forget. Grace charged for a final lariat. Kelani ducked, hit the ropes, leapt into the air, and landed a flawless split-legged moonsault right across Grace's chest. The referee dropped. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang. The arena erupted. Kelani Jordan had done the impossible. She retained her title against one of TNA's greatest at their biggest event. Confetti rained down. Fans stood in awe. Even Grace nodded in respect before leaving the ring. Kelani knelt in the center, clutching her championship, tears glistening under the lights. The crowd chanted her name louder than ever, not as an outsider, but as a champion. Moments later, in her post-match interview, Kelani said something that defined her victory. "Greater than, this isn't about companies. It's about courage. I didn't come here as NXT or TNA. I came here as a wrestler who loves this sport. And tonight, that love won." Those words spread like wildfire. Within minutes, social media was flooded with praise. Hashtags like #Kelani Jordan, #BoundForGlory 2025, and #Royal Wrestling Story trended worldwide. WWE's official page posted congratulations. TNA stars shared clips, calling it one of the greatest women's matches of this generation. Commentators hailed it as the moment that redefined cross-brand respect. For the first time in years, the line between NXT and TNA blurred, and fans didn't see rivals anymore. They saw unity, passion, wrestling at its finest. Behind the curtain, Kelani hugged her team. Trainers, producers, and even rival wrestlers applauded her. Her coach whispered, "You carried the torch tonight." Kelani smiled back, replying softly, "I just didn't want to drop it." Bound for Glory 2025 will forever be remembered for that match, not just because of athleticism, but because of emotion. The way Kelani made fans feel. The way she connected every moment to her journey. She started as a young athlete with nothing but a dream. Tonight, she stood tall as a bridge between generations, proof that wrestling's heart still beats strong. Every victory has a story behind it. But this was about evolution. About a young woman representing a new chapter for women's wrestling worldwide. No walls, no limits, just pure, passionate competition. And that's what Royal Wrestling celebrates, the spirit that turns athletes into legends. The courage that turns moments into memories. As the lights dimmed and the crowd faded out, the camera caught one final image, Kelani standing on the ramp, title raised high, whispering, "Thank you." A champion, a fighter, a believer. Her journey isn't over, it's only just beginning. Because when you fight for respect, you never truly defend a title. You defend your story. Outro for your video ending. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the incredible story of Kelani Jordan's unforgettable victory at TNA Bound for Glory 2025. She proved that greatness isn't about the brand on your gear, it's about the fire in your heart. If you love this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to channel Royal Wrestling, where every week, we bring you stories of power, passion, and pride from the world of professional wrestling. Until next time, stay royal, stay wrestling.